I put a spell on you.
Hocus Pocus, released in 1993, and is directed by Kenny Ortega, who's directed such films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, Newsies, the High School Musical trilogy, apparently the Descendants trilogy. What is that? Is that the... What is that? I thought the Descendants trilogy was that George Clooney... was that George Clooney movie that came out, and I thought they made a trilogy of that one. No, this is like a Disney show. Wow. How would that have been a trilogy? How could we have made sequels to that movie? And of course, this film stars Bette Midler, Kathy Nahimi, Sarah Jessica Parker, Omri Katz, Vanessa Shaw, and Thora Birch. And happy Halloween, everyone! This is a special request from one of my longtime subscribers and recommenders, Kristen Weissner. She has given me a lot of recommendations over the past couple of years, so when she recommended Hocus Pocus, I went, well, I just have to do that on Halloween this year. I just have to. Because this movie is really like the greatest Halloween movie of all time. I mean, it has to be. This movie just screams the 90s. It screams my childhood, which I guess was represented by a bunch of skater dudes and surfing dudes being caught up in all these funky situations. Max Dennison was your average California surfer dude, until one day his parents move him to Salem, Massachusetts. A town that is plagued by a legend of 3 witches destined to come back and consume all the little children in the town. So Max Dennison is about to find out that this small little town of Salem, Massachusetts is not your typical bodega. I told my wife that I was going to do that voice for my plot summary, and gosh, it just works for this movie. But Hocus Pocus, today it is the most commercialized Halloween film out there. You go to Halloween USA, Spirit Halloween, and they have just an entire section now full of Hocus Pocus merchandise. You got the Sanderson sisters costumes, you have pop figures, you have rugs, you have mats, you have mugs, you have door signs, you have bumper stickers. This movie has caught a cult following, and it's one of those movies that I remember first seeing when it originally came out, and now this is the first time that I've really seen a cult following grow for a film. And that's the case really because this movie has everything when it comes to Halloween, right? We have the commercialized holiday here, right? Where all the kids go around from door to door and saying trick or treat and getting candy. But then we also have the horror aspect of this film, right? With the Sanderson sisters that literally kill and consume the life force of all these little children. And as a child myself back in 1993, that was pretty scary. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that Salem witches is probably my biggest fear aside from spiders. Like that movie The Witch back in 2015 or 16, somewhere around there. I think that's the most terrifying film on the planet. Salem witches. Won't do it. Nuh-uh, not happening. But this is a little different, right? Because these are the Salem witches that are your divas. This is Bette Midler, for crying out loud. It's hard to find a diva that is more of a diva than Bette Midler. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you have to start off talking about her because she's the reason why this film has lasted so long and has picked up a cult following. Her schmaltzness, her hamming it up, all of it, everyone just latches onto. And I am dying to know just how much of these characters and how much of their mannerisms, the way that they walk, their characteristics, their choreography was actually done by the director and what was done by Bette Midler. I'm going to assume that the majority of it was Bette Midler. There is no way that Ortega came onto the set that day and told the Sanderson sisters, okay, when you walk, you're going to be walking back and forth like this and grunting at the same time. That is all actor driven. And Kathy Nahimi and Sarah Jessica Parker, they do a great job of feeding off of her energy. This is one of those moments and one of those characters that really the actor just interpreted in just this weird, out there sort of way that I'm sure when the dailies were coming back in and the producers and the companies were watching it going like, what the hell is going on here? But it all works out well in the end. Think of like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean or Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. What they are doing is so out there and ridiculous, but you know what? I'm liking it. Effie Nahimi, I think, is one of my favorite, side actresses out there. I haven't seen a lot from her recently, but what she was doing back in the 90s, here, and in Sister Act, I really love. It doesn't get much better in this movie than when her character pulls out the vacuum cleaner because they ran out of brooms to fly, but she's able to fly the vacuum cleaner by turning it on. Winnie! And Sarah Jessica Parker, of course, there are stories behind the scenes of a lot of movies and sets that she's been on where she's not been the most enjoyable person to work with, but you cannot take her performance away from her here. The way that she is able to play off of these two, and the way that she's able to put a little musicality on all of her lines that makes them so memorable. Dead man's toe! Dead man's toe! Why I'm doing the fire hydrant, I don't know. But all of that works for this aesthetic that is being created here. It makes these characters iconic. Really, the majority of people, at least in this country, know who the Sanderson sisters are. Probably just as much around Halloween as Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Werewolf. These characters are just as popular, if not more popular than they are. And when I say the Mummy, I mean the actual Mummy, not the Tom Cruise Mummy. No. But then aside from the Sanderson sisters, we have to talk about our stereotypical 90s child actors. Omri Katz, who plays Max Dennison, is your stereotypical 90s kid. He's got the feathered out hair, he's got the pale complexion, even though he hails from California. Surf's up, bruh. He looks like a character out of Saved by the Bell, which is perfect here. Vanessa Shaw, of course, plays Max's love interest, and to be honest, back in 1993, was my love interest at the time, too. I remember just having a huge smile on my face whenever she came on screen. Back then, I'm pretty sure I was saying something like, she is so pretty. But nowadays, looking back at that movie, I go, wow, she is hot. And Thora Birch does an adorable job as the cute, adorable little kid just trying to go outside and go trick-or-treating, and that's all she wants to do. She doesn't want to go to the Sanderson Sisters Museum and light the black candle, Max. Max Dennison was a virgin that didn't believe in sorcery. So one Halloween night, Max Dennison decided to light the black candle because he's a virgin. But soon Max will realize that being a virgin doesn't pay. That's the stereotypical 90s trailer announcer, and I love it. It works perfect for this movie. This movie is so iconic in every single way, especially when it comes around this time of year, around Halloween. There are plenty of fun comedic jokes for children, but there are a lot of great comedic jokes for adults here, too. And you have an adorable black talking cat by the name of Thackeray Binks. That's right, his name is Thackeray, not Zachary. Wow. Can you imagine being the parents that named your child Thackeray? You would think that they would have a lisp or something like that. They literally wrote on the birth certificate, Thackeray Binks. Do you want this kid to be beaten up as a child? How many of you out there, and raise your hands, because I'm one of them, how many out there until today thought that it was Zachary Binks and not Thackeray Binks? Yeah. Pretty effed up. But this movie is absolutely wonderful. The whole I put a spell on you dance break in the middle of this movie is fantastic. There's just a sense of fun and a sense of play amongst the actors and the atmosphere that this film is creating. Among this dark and scary story that is being told. Everyone that I know has seen this movie and absolutely loves it, so I was shocked at when I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score of this movie. It is a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, meaning that only 33% of critics liked this movie or gave it a favorable review. What? With how popular this movie is, that is insane to me. Oh well, whatever. I really don't go by Rotten Tomatoes scores anymore. If you haven't seen this movie and you see that Rotten Tomatoes score, don't let that be any indication of the quality of this movie. This is quality, this is great stuff, it's a lot of fun, it is a Halloween tradition in my life. I'm gonna give Hocus Pocus 5 out of 5 Blu-rays. And what perfect timing Disney has for us. As I was watching this movie with my wife, I just said out loud that it is amazing to me that this movie came out in 1993 and we have not gotten a sequel to Hocus Pocus at all. Not like a theatrical released one, or even just a cheap release straight to DVD on Blu-ray sequel. And then come to find out a couple of days ago, it was announced that Disney Plus is going to be moving forward with a Hocus Pocus 2 for their streaming service. You watching me, Disney? You know what? Probably, because you own everything. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, so let's take a look. Empire of the Sun! This is a much younger Spielberg film, and I believe that this is the first film starring Christian Bale. A very young Christian Bale, from what I remember. I have never seen this movie before, but everyone that I talk to says it is fantastic, and Christian Bale is just... it's brilliant as a child actor, which doesn't that just tick adult actors off? I had to work, I had to go to school, I had to train to be the actor that I am today. And then this little shit comes along. Yeah, I'd be the same way too. But all I know is that it takes place in World War II, and there's a exploding plane on the poster. I don't know much else about it, but I'm excited to check it out again. Hey, thank you very much, Kristen, for the recommendation of Hocus Pocus, and happy Halloween, everyone. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, please leave your recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. So guys, have you seen Hocus Pocus? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, then hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot with growing this channel. We are getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. We are making our way towards that goal, and it's all thanks to all of you that have already supported me. But if you have friends, if you have family members out there that love hearing people talk about movies, gush about movies, bash on movies, send them over my way and have them hit the subscribe button. And remember, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will torture myself by watching, yeah, probably the scariest movie on the planet for me, one that I have never watched since I was a kid, Arachnophobia, because it scared me so much. But I'll watch it, I'll record myself watching it, I'll review it, all for you. And only for you. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Empire of the Sun. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.